All right, Shalom. This is Har one by Nyasha Allah of the Lions Den Camp. When it's called Halayim, La Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Harakah Kodash, Ma'amah. Double honor to the elder apostles of GMS and the elders. Shalom to you, Akim, and Nakwatim and children that believe in sincerity and truth around the four corners of the earth. I'm going to go into this topic dealing with Acts chapter 12, actually the whole chapter, most of the chapter. How the Lord sent an angel to deliver Peter out of prison, all right, and actually removed the chains from him, right, the chains of bondage. Now, with the current climate in this world, what's it called, a prison planet, we're all at jeopardy to be thrown in jail, especially with all these different mandatory, demands that draconian laws that they're putting in place. All right, using the corporations to demand that you show a passport to enter their buildings or their business. All right, or deal with their service. And it may go as far as saying you needed to get on the internet or to travel. All right, so they're moving into this whole new system of this great reset, this new world order, of which the term criminal, that's why they try to say if you don't, subscribe to their new world order, then you're going to become a criminal. Now check this out. This is Acts chapter 12, verse 1. When they're the real criminals, all right? But according to their policies that they're setting in place, it's going to take away all the rights of the citizens. And ultimately, it's to attack the truth. This place is set in wickedness. The foundations of it is built upon wickedness. All right, so let me get this real quick, man. Matter of fact, start off with this one. This is Revelations 2:10. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days, okay? And that's about basically 2 weeks, all right? Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life, man. So you got to keep our faith, because in jail, the first thing they try to do is feed you pork. If not, try to leave you malnourished, feed you certain times a day, if anything at all, in the midst of a food shortage someday soon. All right. These mandatory policies that they put in place, they're going to really come down hard on everybody in these jails or concentration camps that they set in place. All right. Though it may take some time to do it, the scriptures say the devil is coming down with great wrath because he knows that he have but a short time. So they're moving quick. All right. Because they're talking about an insurrection and sedition amongst the nations real soon. Everything they're doing now, you have the housing crisis, what they call it, rental horror that's at bay right now, that's at the doors, where they're going to kick everybody out of their houses. What was that, a moratorium that they set in place? And now that moratorium is over as of last Saturday, and the landlords of these homes and apartments, they gotta get paid, and they got a short window before they put it back on the floor to talk in the Congress to talk about. They got a short window to collect the money or kick everybody out. So it's gonna be like they said, like 6 million people owe more than they can pay right now. All right. So within next month, a lot of people can become homeless. Any night, any day. That still owe that rent from the whole lockdown. and they said they owe at least a year worth of rent, and they're gonna need it in probably in 1 week or 1 day, sheesh, or 1 month. All right, so all these people that like live in luxury, these big houses. I got person I talked to before used to flaunt this world in my face because our beliefs, and what they would say is I got 3 houses, you know. They would say I got 3 houses, but now look, now you gotta pay for those. I always thought about like, oh, they gotta pay for those houses too. All right. So it says Second Ezra 16:70. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. All right, because ultimately that's what's gonna come down to. You know, they're gonna come against the men just like they did during the times of what's his name, Stephen. Some people say. All right, when that was the beginning of the insurrection upon the believers in Yahushua, and they started persecuting us, going against us, killing our people. All right, so the Second Ezra 16 and 70, because let me get this. All right, this is the word insurrection. An insurrection means a rising up, an uprising against civil authority. And at this moment, there's 2 civil authorities. You got the Democrats and Republicans. And that's spoken of in Revelation 13. All right. And within that time, you're going to have an economy collapse, weather atrocities, pandemics, plagues, and insurrections. All right. Sedition among men. But in the midst of that, there's going to be, all right, upon those that fear the Lord. So it's gonna be an insurrection upon those that fear the Lord, man. All right, the authority of the ones that fear the Lord. Okay, so they're gonna go after the ones that claim to be in this truth. You know, that's what scripture says. It's gonna be a famine of the word. It's shutting down their internet pages, declaring them to be terrorists or some shit. You know, going through their social media, looking at their responses and their posts. Now they got it to where if you're friends with somebody, hey, report your friend if you think they're becoming extremists, you know, in their ways. So nobody's allowed to believe what they want anymore and just have their own individual belief. That's what the society is coming to. They're bringing it under one world order, and it's all dealing with Satanism, wickedness. All right, and within that, there's going to be an insurrection upon those that fear the Lord, and that's why the Lord said He's going to lift up a standard against them. All right, when they come in rushing like a flood, and they shall be like mad men, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. All right, mainly talking about Israel in general. It's really going to fall on 2/3 of our people. But there may be some that get cast into jail. There may be some that get tested, get cast out of their houses, or approached by the police or whatever, or agents. And it's all just a test. All right? A test of your faith to see if you're going to give up your faith. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. So there will be they're going to show up. They're going to have to at some point, especially with a rental crisis. And a lot of people not going to want to get out of their homes. And they're going to send the sheriffs in there and drag them out. All right. So especially when martial law kick in for these lockdowns or the people that don't follow the mandatory rules, then they're going to be grabbing them up, trying to give them fines. And through fines, they can get people put in jail. All right. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. Then shall they be known who are my chosen. And they shall be tried as gold in the fire, man. All right. He says, it's going to be known who are his chosen at that moment. Because their faith is going to stand in the midst of that. And they're the ones that's going to call out to Yahweh Shem Shai and wait for his deliverance. Verse 74, Hear, O ye my beloved, saith the Lord, behold, the days of trouble are at hand. See, Jacob's trouble. And that's why I say it's going to be an insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. Not just the elect, but 2/3 of Israel, because we're always known as the nation that feared the Lord. All right, even though 2/3 of our people are not in their right state of mind right now. But it's still going to be an insurrection among all Jakes. That's why they like, yo, send it to all the ghettos, go door to door. What they say on the borders, they let migrants and all that, trying to trap them, which are our people as well. Look what they're doing in Haiti. It's a big insurrection going on, and it's kicking up, depopulation. All right, but ultimately it's to go after the elect. All right, then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as gold in the fire, man. The fire represents that adversity and affliction and the anxiety and depression. So you're going to be tried. You got to remember, keep your mind on the scriptures. That's what the Lord say, keep our mind on him. Hear, O ye my beloved, saith the Lord, behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same. Now let's get a little example of how Yahweh Shem Shai delivered Peter. All right, who spoke to Yahweh Shai face to face, man, whom we believe is King David. All right, he spoke to Yahweh Shai face to face, and after Yahweh Shai transitioned into the heavens and was resurrected and glorified, Peter was delivered by an angel from the prison. Secured maximum security prison or jail for the believers of Yahweh Shai, and that's really what Ezra was talking about, right? The insurrection upon the Israelites at that time, right? During the time of Peter, Stephen, all the believers in Yahweh Shai. But the same thing going to happen in this time. But the Lord said, what? Touch not mine anointed. Do my prophets no harm. All right, so this is Acts chapter 12, verse 1. Now this is when Herod, I think it was Herod II, who was known as Agrippa the First. All right, Herod Agrippa the First, but he was also known as Herod II, and he ruled from 41 A.D. to 44 A.D. And the situation right here in this scripture specifically was when the Jews or the prophets were returning to Jerusalem with aid in the midst of insurrection against the believers in Yahushua. And this happened in 44 A.D., the year of the death of Herod Agrippa. All right, so let's get into it. And the Lord sent the angel to deliver Peter from jail as he was taken into jail and put under maximum security. And then he was released, and the people was shocked to see that he was released, and he continued teaching. Acts 12 and 1. Now about that time, Herod the king, that was Herod the second, who was also known as Agrippa the first, stretched forth his hands to vex certain of the church. All right, the church represent the called out. All right, let's get that. All right, so the church, just like spoken in Song of Solomon, that's the purchased bride. All right, that's the church. All right, and all Israel don't represent that. Acts 20 and 28. Take heed therefore yourselves unto yourselves and to all the flock. See, he got a flock. The Lord has a flock, a sheep, the lost sheep, right, that has been found. Over the which the Holy Spirit have made you overseers. See, through the Spirit we become overseers over the flock. And he said, feed the flock of my pasture. All right, and we feed you through the Spirit. Okay, to feed the Spirit of truth, to feed the church of Yahweh. Okay, called out. I'm gonna get that word in a minute. All right, to feed the church of Yahweh, which he had purchased with church of Yahweh by Shema Shai, which he had purchased with his own blood, man. And that was for who? The elect. All right. All right, this is the word church. And it says in the Greek, ecclesia, okay, G1577, G1577. And it means what? A calling out. Just like the word masha means to be drawn from the waters. And we represent that, to be drawn from amongst the people. All right. A calling out. So the ones that are called out from the world. All right. 1 Peter 2 and 9. But ye are a chosen generation. All right. To be chosen. A royal priesthood, a holy nation, a peculiar people that should show forth the praises of him who have called you out of darkness into his marvelous light. So to be called means to be part of that church. All right. Called to the gathering in the spirit of Yahushua. Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. All right. This John 17 and 6. I have manifested my name unto men that thou gavest me out of the world. Thine they were, and thou gavest them me, and they have kept thy word. All right, that's talking about the church. Okay, and then you get many scriptures dealing with how the Lord separated a lump unto himself. All right, and he left. Verse 11, it says, and now I am no more in the world, but these are in the world. All right, so, and I come unto thee, Holy Father, keep through thine own name those whom thou hast given me, that they may be one as we are one. So that's the church, the elect of Israel. All right, so let's get this. All right, so it's Acts 12 and 1. Now, about that time, around 44 AD, all right, the year Herod died, Herod Agrippa the first, the king stretched forth his hands to vex certain of the church, and he killed James, the brother of John, with the sword, man. All right, so he killed him with the sword. They was murdering people, and they were doing it to entertain and impress and to get the votes of Jake, man, Israelites, all right, who were calling themselves the circumcision. And just like most of the Jews or the Jake, they turned to Antipater to get him to kill Yahushua, all right, and to keep the insurrection from turning against the Roman Empire. They were like, is this your king? All the Roman Empire was worrying about was a revolutionary raising up against them. And they wanted to set an example. They wasn't looking at it spiritually like we do. All right, Yahushua being our spiritual king and physical king. You know, And the people of the circumcision, the Israelites that knew they were Israelites, a lot of them turned against Yahushua because of the Pharisees and the Sadducees, the wicked ones, that were, that basically didn't want to lose that spotlight or that power seat. Just like ISUPK, IUIC and them, man. All right. And they provoked the people into saying, let these sins fall upon us, upon themselves, and meaning their generations. All right. So the same thing happened with Peter. It was a lot of Jakes that wanted to see the death of Peter. And that's why when Yahushua was when they crucified Yahushua, the first thing they did was turn to Peter. They said, yo, you one of them, ain't you? And these were Jakes that were talking. Our people. That's how much they hated us. And they're like, yeah, he want to do away with the laws of Moses. He called it, they followed, just like Stephen. Stephen said he saw Yahushua on the right hand of the Father. And they got more mad and killed, stoned him even more and jumped on him until he fell to his knees and gave up the ghost. All right. So they hate Yahushua that much. That's why the Lord said that they hated him before they hated us. And they turned to Peter and said, you one of them. And Peter denied the Lord 3 times. All right. And he also set it up to where he forgave Peter, the way he talked to him. He said, Peter, do you love me? Feed my sheep. And he said, Peter, do you love me? Feed my sheep. Peter, do you love me? Feed my sheep. All right. So now, Acts 12:1. Now about that time, Herod the king stretched forth his hands to vex certain of the church, and he killed James, the brother of John, with the sword, man. And because he saw it pleased the Jews, it pleased them, man. And it's gonna please a lot of these people if they come and do something to the hopeful elect. They see what we're putting on the internet, going in on their false doctrines and their beliefs and their ways and their heresies and their philosophies and their Babylonian mindset. They see that, and they hate us for that. They say, cause the Holy One to cease from before them. All right. They want to move on in this new world order. 2/3 of our people. And because he saw it pleased the Jews, he proceeded further to take Peter also. All right. So he was like, I'm going to go after the top. He went to Peter and took Peter as well. All right. So then were the days of unleavened bread. So this was around the Passover. Now that's why you got to think, man. You got to really understand what you're getting involved in when you go out and teach. The Lord said, present thy body as a living sacrifice. All right. And when he had apprehended him, he put him in prison. So they grabbed him up, apprehended him, and they put him in the prison and delivered him to 4 quaternions, man. So, all right, of soldiers to keep him, man. What's a quaternion? So 4 quaternions. All right. So they delivered him to 4 squadrons of 4 Roman soldiers. All right. So so it's about eight soldiers there. All right. Or about 16 shows. Damn, that's a lot of soldiers. Hold on. It says quaternion or a squad, a picket, like a picket fence of 4 Roman soldiers. Sheesh. A quaternion, a consistency of 4 soldiers. All right, so basically like 16 soldiers. Among the Romans, this was the usual number of the guard to which the custody of captives and prisoners was trusted. 2 soldiers were confined. Okay, it was 4. All right. They said 4. Okay, just 4 quaternions. I got it. 2 soldiers were confined with the prisoner, all right? And 2 kept guard outside. 4 quaternions of soldiers would be used to guard one all night, one for each of the 4 night watches. Wow, man. All right, so it could have been a bunch more soldiers to relieve any of those soldiers, you know. But they, at this point, it looked like there was 2 soldiers outside and 2 inside, sitting right next to them. Yeah, 4 quaternions, man, probably big soldiers. So it could have been Edomites as well. But it says verse 4, Acts 12 and 4. And when he had apprehended him, he put him in prison and delivered him to 4 quaternions of soldiers to keep him, intending after Easter to bring him forth to the people. Now this is saying after the Passover. But the thing is that word Easter is not supposed to be there. That word Easter goes back to a pagan Babylonian idol named Ishtar, which is basically the worship of the moon and the stars. All right, the egg and all that, the bunny, when that had nothing to do with the Passover. We don't celebrate the Passover that way. And that word there is supposed to be, in the Greek, it would be Pascha. All right, Pascha, which G3957, which would mean the Passover. So people in these churches, these Christian churches, they celebrate Easter because of that scripture. When that word not even supposed to be there. All right, they put that there, man. Easter means Ishtar. They worship in the stars. Okay, so it's supposed to be the Passover. So he was intending, Herod Agrippa the first, he was intending on after the Passover, that night, that same night, after everybody celebrated their Passover, he was going to go get Peter out of the prison and bring him in front of everybody and be like, we're going to kill him too? So they was going to keep killing our people as an example. Just like they do with the media today. Look what they're doing with the baby. It says, Peter therefore was kept in prison, but prayer was made without ceasing of the church unto Yahweh for him. And that's what we have to do. Pray for our brothers that get imprisoned, you know, in this truth. Like we have a brother in jail right now. The judge locked him up for nothing, literally. Just, you know, he rebuked the judge, which, you know, could have held him in contempt. But look what the judge did, threw him in jail for no reason and keeping him there. And we just praying for the Lord to let those chains of bondage be broken, and for the brothers stay strong in the faith. And that's just it, and to continue. And the whole system's going to be destroyed. The judge is going to have to get the mandatory soon, you know, for the federal agents. You know, so the judgment is really comes from Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. All right. And we just had to believe. But this is a point right here. Check it out. Peter therefore was kept in prison, but prayer was made without ceasing of the church unto Yahweh for him. And when Herod would have, this is not Herod the Great, this is Herod the Second, who's also known as Agrippa the First. And when Herod would have brought him forth, the same night, Peter was sleeping between 2 soldiers. All right, so he was sleeping, and he had 2 soldiers guarding. It's like a maximum prison, man, maximum jail, holding cells at least. And these were trained soldiers. It's like these militaries today, like concentration camps. It says bound with 2 chains. All right, so they had him bound as well. So you got to take that on the level of today, of their maximum security jails and prisons, or holding cells. And the keepers before the door kept the prison. And those were the other two quaternions, soldiers. And behold, the angel of the Lord came upon him. Out of nowhere, an angel showed up, was standing over top of Peter, next to the soldiers, man. So it kept the soldiers in a stupor and asleep. And a light shined in the prison. Wow, man. So the Lord sent his light. You know, the angel was glowing, and there was a light shining in the prison. Yeah, picture that. Right? And I'm pretty sure the angel looked just like Peter. And he smote Peter on the side and raised him up. So he hit Peter on the side and woke him up like, hey, man, get up. And he smote Peter on the side and raised him up, saying, arise up quickly, like, hurry up, we got to go. And his chains fell off from his hands, man. That happened to you right now, you feel like you're dreaming. All right. And the angel said unto him, gird thyself and bind on thy sandals. So he told him, put on clothes and put on your sandals. All right. And they probably took all his clothes off of him so he couldn't use anything to get out. And so he did. And he sat, and he saith unto him, cast thy garment about thee and follow me. So the angel was talking to him. The soldiers ain't wake up. They said, cast this garment about you and follow him, man. And he went out and followed him, and wist not that it was true which was done by the angel, but thought he saw a vision. See, he thought he was dreaming. Peter thought he was dreaming, you know. So he was looking at the angel, just like the scriptures say. There's going to be 144,000 men, and 1/3 of men, women, and children standing upon the firmament, looking at each other like they just in a dream. But they're going to realize it's not a dream. All right. And he's, okay, where was I? Verse 9. And he went out and followed him, and wist not that it was true, which was done by the angel, but thought he saw a vision. And when they were past the first and second ward, they came unto the iron gate that leadeth unto the city. It was a giant iron gate that led to the city, which opened to them of his own accord. Imagine that, man. You walking and the prison doors just open by themselves. That's the Most High, the spiritual power. All right, miracles. All right, they open of his own accord, like the automatic doors that they get. Esau get all that from the Lord, man, from the scriptures. All right, the door opened up by itself. And they went out and passed on through one street, and forthwith the angel departed from him. As soon as he got out of the jail, the angel's job was done. You know, they keep their word to Yahweh Shem Yahushua. That's what they do, the will of the Lord, to the T. And as soon as they got him out of jail, the angel went back to the Father. And when Peter was come to himself, he said, now I know of a surety that the Lord hath sent his angel and have delivered me out of the hand of Herod and from all the expectation of the people of the Jews, man. And at that moment, you're going to realize that when the Lord delivers you and me, hopefully we're up that number, to where we'll realize that the Lord has delivered us from the hand of the Herodians, these Edomites, and from the hands of, or the expectations of our people that are wicked in the society. They expect us to fall or fail. They expect the Lord not to show up. But they're going to be, let me get this. Wisdom of Solomon 5:2. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they look for. And they, repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit, shall say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometimes in derision and a proverb of reproach. They're like, yeah, he was. You ain't gonna do what? What you gonna do? The destruction coming. You gonna be here too. What you? What you gonna do about it? You gonna take? How you gonna pay for your food, man? I eat my pork and do. You know what I mean? Look at these fools out there standing out there teaching. Look at bum Israelites. All right, well, they're gonna have to eat them words, man. And the Lord said they're gonna be repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit, and they shall say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometimes in derision and a proverb of reproach. We fools accounted his life madness and his end to be without honor. So they think they know everything, like the Egyptologists. You know, they think we're gonna fail. How is he numbered among the children of God, and his lot is among the saints? Therefore have we erred from the way of truth, and the light of righteousness have not shined unto us, and the sun of righteousness rose not upon us. All right? And that's what they're gonna realize. We wearied ourselves in the way of wickedness and destruction. Yea, we have gone through deserts where they lay no way. But as for the way of the Lord, we have not known it. All right? And that's what they're gonna realize. The ones that have the expectation of the death of the righteous and the downfall of the scriptures. All right, Job 5:12. He disappointeth the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise, man. So that's what he's gonna do. The Lord is gonna disappoint all their imaginations, all their devices, because Jake following behind Esau, hoping that the Romans, America or Europe, brings in their new world order, where in the new world order they're gonna do away with they want to do away with the Bible and the prophets. Pause this real quick. All right, this is Job 20:8. Just like Peter thought he was dreaming, but check this out, man. Esau is going to fly away as a dream. Job 20:8. All right. Matter of fact, 20:4. Knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon the earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short? All right, just like Herod. And the joy of the hypocrite for a moment. Though his excellency mount up to the heavens, just like right now, and his head reach unto the clouds through their pride, and also them trying to go up to the out in space, exalting their different kingdoms. Yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. They which have seen him shall say, where is he? Just like you flush shit down the toilet and it disappear. He shall fly away as a dream, man, and shall not be found. Yea, he shall be chased away as a vision in the night. All right, and the Lord's going to free us from Esau's grip and from their trap, the snare of the fowler. All right, it's going to be like a vision in the night, like a dream. All right, Esau is going to be the same. Esau's rulership is like a dream, and in our kingdom, it's going to be like a nightmare for them. But it's going to be real. Just like in this kingdom, it's a nightmare for us. And our deliverance is going to be as a dream, man. We're going to feel like we're dreaming. But Esau is going to wake up to a nightmare. All right. Isaiah 29:8. And it shall be, 7. And the multitude of all the nations that fight against Ariel, which is basically another way of saying Israel, all right, or Judah. All right, the word Ariel, it says Araya Allah, which means lioness, lion or lioness of Yahweh. All right, and that's another word that was given to Jerusalem, a name that was given to Jerusalem. Verse 7, it says, "And the multitude of the nations that fight against Jerusalem or Ariel, even all that fight against her and her munition and that distress her, shall be as a dream of a night vision." Whew. So the ones that fight against the elect, the city of peace, they're gonna fly away as a dream. Basically, the wicked. I mean, even 2/3 of our people. "And it shall even be as when a hungry man dreameth, and behold, he eateth, but he awaketh, and his soul is empty." All right, so they having a dream, they eating, they bringing in their new world order, they setting everything in place, like Bill Gates and all them, the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds. You got people like Lil Nas X, and 2/3 of our people that are going along with it, in the government. Well, in these churches, and they eating right now, but he awaketh, and his soul is empty. So Esau is gonna wake up in hell upon earth. Or when a thirsty man dreameth, and behold, he drinketh, but he awaketh, and behold, he is faint, and his soul has appetite. So he you know what I mean? He gonna wake up like, "Give it back." I was like Scrooge McDuck. All the riches. "So shall the multitude of the nation of all the nations be," not just Esau, but all the nations, man. All right, that fight against Mount Zion, the elect of Israel. If you fight against the elect, you're fighting against Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, the Spirit of truth. "Stay yourselves and wonder, cry ye out and cry. They are drunken, but not with wine. They stagger, but not with strong drink." And that's talking about 2/3 of our people. "For Yahweh have poured upon you the spirit of deep sleep, and have closed your eyes, and the prophets and your rulers and the seers have your eyes have closed." All right. So, and that's just it, man. So it's gonna be as a dream. He said Esau gonna fly away as a dream. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get one more. All right, because it's like a dream, man. To sit here and imagine us standing on a firmament, us looking at each other, and we've been delivered, and realizing that it really happened, and we know what comes after that. Eternity, righteousness. We're going to see Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, and, the angels, and take the cap to rule over our oppressors, and put wickedness under our feet, and be able to rid it off, wipe it off the earth through the power of Yahweh by Shem Shai. Eternity begins at that point for the elect. Psalms 126:1, because the Lord's going to free us from the hands of Esau, just like he freed Peter from Herod at that time, just to build his faith and have it to be written in the scriptures. All right, 126:1 of Psalms, a song of degrees. When the Lord turned again the captivity of Zion, returning. When he turns us again, from this captivity, we were like them that dream. It's gonna be like a dream, man. Then was our mouth filled with laughter, just like Peter, when he realized that it was really happening, and our tongue with singing, and that means you're gonna be praising the Lord, basically. That's what it means to be singing. Then said they among the heathens, so you're gonna be, you're gonna have them haters in the midst, watching the elect go up to the chariots. It's gonna be like a dream. Yahweh, the heathens are gonna say, even 2/3 of our people, Yahweh have done great things for them. That goes with Wisdom of Solomon 5. Yahweh have done great things for us. Whereof we are glad. All right, so this is what the elect are going to say. Yahweh have done great things for us, the hopeful elect. Whereof we are glad. Turn again our captivity, O Lord, as the streams of the south. Then they that sow in tears shall reap in joy. All right, so we're going to reap in joy someday. He that goeth forth and weepeth, bearing precious seed, shall doubtless come again with rejoicing, bringing his sheaves with him, man. And it's going to be as a dream in the night. All right, so with that, I'm going to say, you keep using imagination and dream of the kingdom, dream in the scriptures with the Lord, the vision the Lord is showing us. All right, so with that, I'm going to say, shalom.